on, I have a question. So if I'm like on the ground, just standing around, not doing anything, and then I shine a flashlight in a direction, right? And we like measure the speed of the light of the flashlight from coming out of like one end, and then I get in a car or stand on a train, and then I also shine the flashlight in the same direction. When we measure,
Be aware.
It won't be a what?
He's interrupting. He's a random.
Okay, yeah, no worries. But yeah, when we measure like the speed of light from like each person's perspective, why do we get the same result despite the fact that you just said that motion has to be absolute? And if we know that the train is moving, shouldn't the beam of light have the velocity of light plus the train's speed?
Are you trying to have some twisted way of proving that the Earth is moving?
Yeah, because you can't. That you wouldn't be able to.
You have to get yourself off of the reference frames to compare the two.
I think
yeah.
I think you guys are getting confused when like someone says.
Yeah, no, we're not confused. We're talking about the Earth, and you're talking about light.
Because when you say that like the Earth isn't moving, when you're talking about
excellent. So how are you going to prove it's moving? Whilst you're stuck on the Earth, how are you going to prove it's moving?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the point of saying that there is no absolute frame of reference. Like,
yeah, we don't care. So get to the point. How are you going to prove the Earth is moving? Because that's what you want to get to.
Because so when you're asking and you're saying like the Earth is moving and you're saying absolute motion, I would just say, well, the Earth isn't absolutely moving.
So it's not moving. Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, if you by motion, if you mean absolute motion, yeah, I would agree. It's not absolutely moving.
I didn't put the word absolute in there. You did.
Well,
so thank you for straw manning me.
By motion, what do you mean by
moving?
Yeah.
Yeah, like what do you mean by that?
Are you that mentally devoid that you don't know if something is moving or not?
I'm just trying to tease it out because I don't want to be equivocating terms. Because when I say motion,
because that's what you're trying to do. You are deliberately equivocating terms to be difficult. Or being obtuse.
When I say motion, I just mean it's an artifact based on
something that's fucking moving. How simple do I have to put it for you?
Matrix, how about that? You need to calm down, mate. You need to
moving is moving. Okay, bro.
Is it moving? Yes. Is it still? No.
Holy cortisol spike, man.
Hey, bro, stop being difficult. You're trying to be a fucking smartass to people who deal with this shit every day.
I have permission to speak in this channel.
Bro, it's like I'm a flat Earth survivor, guys. What the hell?
How about this? Let's entertain this for a bit, right? So, Sim, what would the Earth be moving in relation to?
Yeah, so it would just say that like inertial like frames of reference determine what motion is. That's what the claim is.
Okay, so which one would it be moving in relation to?
It would be like moving to like a non-Earth perspective. So like if you just took perspective of something that was not on Earth.
Okay, so where would we go to verify this?
Not on Earth.
By the way, it's Jurak. Sorry, I thought it was Sim who was speaking. My apologies.
No, it's all right. Because I think the problem is that the word motion is getting equivocated every time I say it. When I say motion, I don't mean that like, oh, we'll go to the moon and then we'll see that the Earth is absolutely moving. It's not absolutely moving because nothing is absolutely moving. That's the claim.
Yeah.
And the reason we know nothing's absolutely moving is because when we do the Michelson-Morley experiment with different frames of inertial reference, either in a car or standing still to like the Earth's motion, we find that there's no difference in the measurement of the split beam of light. So we know the fact that
if I get out my chair and start walking, you won't know if I'm actually moving or not.
Well, no, because the claim that like whether or not I'm moving, I could just as easily claim that the ground is moving like to meet you under your feet.
So if let me get this straight. If I get out my chair and walk, it could actually be the ground that's moving, not me.
Yeah, because there's not going to be an experiment that you can do that proves that you just true.
No, that would be incorrect. That would be
okay. Then name the experiment.
Hold on. Do you agree right now that the ground under your feet's not moving?
Do I agree that the ground's not moving? Do we mean by like absolutely moving?
Where you are currently sitting or standing, the ground under your feet is not moving.
Discord. Fucking Discord.
That's a loaded question, bro.
It's not a loaded question.
It's just the problem with it is because you're absolutely the motion is absolute. I'm telling you, I don't think you're absolute.
It's based on reality.
Well, hold on a second, everybody. Hold on a second. If we're going to have debate bros in here, this is the problem with the debate bro tactic, is that now you kind of remove yourself from a conversation that is reasonable into one that is purely based on, I don't know, hyperbole, pedantics. If we can't establish what we mean, then we're not going to be able to have an actual conversation. So let's abandon the debate bro tactics. You define what motion is, or absolute motion. How about that?
Yeah, I already did. I said it was based on someone's inertial frame of reference.
Please mute. You're hot-micing.
No, that's not a definition. You're saying it's based on something. I want a citation from you, from a source of what you are talking about. Define it.
Yeah, so I'll just say like motion is just like you're changing.
Okay, I need a citation from you that we can establish that you won't move off of later in the conversation. Just get it. Why are you so inept at getting the thing I'm asking for?
I literally have been saying the exact same thing 3 times.
Isn't it weird how I didn't ask about what you've been saying? I want a citation, unless you're going to start to just make up your own definitions for terms. So, get a citation of what motion is and post it in the side chat so we don't have to do this anymore.
I'm literally muted in the side chat. What do you...
Oh, what were you doing in the side chat that you got muted?
Yeah, so am I going to be unmuted so I can post it? I have it right here. The change in a position of an object over time relative to a reference point. That's my definition for motion.
Over fences, that's on you.
Say it again. What's the source?
The change in position of an object over time relative to a reference point. My whole argument is that motion is
what is the reference point? What is the reference point?
Any
reference point? Okay, how about the Earth?
Point.
The Earth is the reference point in this scenario.
It could be your mom's bedroom. It could be anything.
In this case, it is the Earth. That's the reference point.
It kind of goes back to what I asked him, right? In relation to what would the Earth be moving?
A non-Earth
look,
reference
if
point.
If I get in a plane, because check this out, if I get in a plane and I'm flying around, the Earth is moving in relation to me. Yeah, no shit. But I'm also moving in relation to the Earth. You stand on the Earth, you see the plane fly away.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. There's no problem with that.
That's it. That's my entire claim, is that there's no absolute motion.
Okay. So, going back to what Matrix was saying, is this like a layup to you then make the claim that, oh, we're on a giant ball moving around in space?
I've been able to get that far. I think that
I know, that's why I'm trying to accelerate this. Right, so
I wasn't actually that interested in doing the whole globe stuff or heliocentric stuff. I kind of wanted to keep it in the physics realm and just talk about inertial frames of reference and stuff. I mean, I can try to track it out.
Why bother jerk off, theoretical physics and shit?
Well, no, it's just people are making claims about motion, so
whether we're on a giant ball or not. That's really the whole point of this server or this channel.
Well, I mean, am I not able to reply to someone's claim about motion?
Well, you can. I was just in the middle of
I mean, I can if you guys really, really want. I can try to formulate it into the whole globe claim or whatever. But I mean, that's going to be point 4 in an argument. But we're still on point 1, whether or not we think that if we shine a light on a train versus standing still, that the light beam is going to be somehow moving faster from the train, the train's inertial frame of reference, or the train's perspective, I guess, compared to the Earth.
Yeah, you can do what you want, man, but so long as it's leading to a point that demonstrates that we're on a giant ball, sure.
Yeah, okay. I mean, is anyone else still under the impression that motion is absolute? That if you just keep adding on motion to a light beam, it'll just get faster and faster and faster?
Sorry, I had to step away. What's the question? Absolute motion?
Yeah, if there's absolute motion, because people are talking about whether or not the Earth is moving, and And if they mean absolutely moving, then of course not, because nothing absolutely moves. If it's relatively moving, then obviously, because, yeah, motion is just relative.
It's always going to be relative to something that's stationary. Yeah.
Yeah, to like your inertial frame. Yeah. So to say that like the stars are moving the Earth is an equally valid claim to the Earth is just rotating.
No, in that case, when you say that the stars move, you are assuming actually that the Earth is still.
Well, no, you're just saying that the inertial frame of reference is that the universe is like orbiting around the Earth, which is technically true. But then it's also the case that you could claim from a different point, like the sun, that the Earth is not still and it's orbiting the sun.
So which is actually happening then? Which is actually happening? What's the actual thing?
Well, no, that's true? The thing is that both.
So there is no truth. There is no true motion.
Yeah, there's no true motion.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, bro. Yeah. That's ridiculous. I cannot say that the road is moving underneath me and my car is sitting still because the wheels are turning. There's a function happening. There's a motor. There's my experience of being in motion. No, bro, there is absolute actual motion. And to say that there isn't is retarded and delusional.
Okay, so then if you're on a train and you shine a laser,
let me follow.
Is the laser going to have light's velocity plus the trains?
Bro, no, hang on a second, dude. Okay, go back to the star thing. You look up, you see the stars move. Are the stars moving or are we moving? Right?
So
we say
yes.
the stars moving.
The answer to both of those questions is yes.
To both? Well, see, wouldn't that presume that the star, right, that is actually in a place in the sky in some three-dimensional XYZ coordinate, right, where somebody could go to and perceive the Earth from that reference?
Yeah, if there was like a non-Earth reference. I mean, we have like non-Earth references if you like flying around the Earth or whatever, right? So I mean, like if you can not believe in like anything past like Earth's atmosphere or whatever, and like the inertial frames of reference will still hold true. If you're just going to make the claim that like Earth is the universe, then like the claims of inertial reference will still hold true.
You're throwing reference frames under the bus. You don't need them.
Yeah, so if we don't need reference frames, then answer the question: light on a car.
No, that's you. You're throwing reference frames out because reference frames are described by reference frames have specific qualities. You can't switch them around.
Okay, so let's just say to like the perspective of Earth, why does firing the laser beam standing still versus in a car result in the same speed for the measurement for both laser beams? You just told me motion is absolute. The laser beam should have the momentum of the car and light. Why does it only have the momentum of light?
How do you even measure that, though?
The speed of light is just distance over time.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to measure that, though. You still wouldn't be able to measure that.
Well, here's the question, right? How fast is light alleged speed?
Wow, bloody hell!
Well, if we're talking about like units of measurement, most units of measurement in distance now are based off of light because we've like reorganized it to be based on light because we presume light to be causal. That's why it's c in MC squared.
Causal? You mean constant?
670 million plus miles per hour.
Yeah, so like when people say that like the speed of light is constant, what they mean is that it's constant in all inertial frames of reference because it's moving at like the speed of causality. That's why it stands for c in Einstein's
the speed of causality.
Yeah.
Where'd you get that?
I mean, so with all these ruined reference frames, why should anybody defend the globe?
Yeah, I mean, we can get to that. I mean, I still think we have someone that believes
because you can't decide which is actually true.
I'm waiting for an answer to the question of why do we measure the speed of light to be the same regardless of how fast we're moving?
We don't measure it to be the same.
No, we're not moving. According to you, we're not moving.
Well, no, I'm just saying because he said that like, well,
how do you measure the speed of something that's not moving?
So if we're in the car moving and we shine a beam of light, why is it the same speed of somebody standing still?
We've never actually measured the speed of light. It was a calculation based off of one of the.
Yeah, it was a calculation based off of a guy using like wooden gears. Yeah, that was like the original estimate, but like the concept stands true.
So it's if we were moving, this would be the speed, not this is the speed because it's actually in motion.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to measure that. You know, a car traveling 100 miles an hour and you're flashing your light at a target, and a man stationary flashing his light at the same target, you wouldn't be able to measure there. You couldn't. That's why you're getting the same value, because that 100 miles an hour is minuscule. You can't measure that.
No, that's just going to be arguing statistical significance.
Let me
If you have a sensitive enough experiment, of course we can measure the difference.
Hang on, you cut my chain of thought. Listen, the reason why I say it would be hard to detect a man standing still, flashing a light at a target, and my car traveling 100 miles an hour, aiming at the same target, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference, because because of the speed, 670 million miles per hour, and you want to detect 100 miles an hour from difference. You couldn't do it. Impossible. You couldn't do it.
It's impossible to detect a difference in speed. Okay, bro.
Well, yeah, okay, well then just show us the difference or the lack of difference that you've measured.
Yeah, so I did. I posted it inside chat. It's the Michelson-Morley experiment. I said it before as well.
That doesn't have anything to do with speed of light.
Yes, it does.
Okay, so tell me the difference.
The Michelson-Morley experiment is literally just an experiment using lasers and mirrors.
First of all, it's not an experiment. First of all, it's not an experiment.
So when we look at it, we see that the light has the same, regardless of.
Yeah, I guess that means you can't use light to measure Earth's motion, can you? I guess Michelson-Morley failed, didn't they?
He's conflating two different ideas. I'm asking him to measure the difference between an object in motion versus an object that is stationary. Both of them have lights on them. Both of them are shining at a target. I want to see that particular test. Michelson-Morley is not an experiment, by the way, unless you can give me, number one, the observed natural phenomena, and then the independent variable so we can cause the effect.
Yeah, so I said the independent variable was going to be.
Sorry, I'm asking for the observed phenomena, the dependent variable. What's that?
Yeah, so are you going to let me say what the independent variable was?
Okay. Like I said, I want the dependent variable, the observed natural phenomena in the first instance, the thing that we're going to find the cause of the effect of. So, what is the observed natural phenomena, please?
Insert frantic.
Are the debate bros hard of hearing? What's the problem?
He doesn't know how to answer the question, maybe?
No, I just don't want to engage.
Okay, well then go on mute.
Okay. Was nice talking to everyone else except you.
Great. Yeah, I know it's weird. You don't like to talk to the people that ask you direct questions about the experiment that you're.
I just like to talk to people.
It's not an experiment. Yeah, I know. You want to talk to people that don't ask you very pointed questions. I get it.
I was literally trying to give you the independent variable because I didn't give it to you.
Isn't that weird? Once again, I want everyone to just go ahead and answer this question for me. Did I ask for an independent variable or did I ask for a dependent variable?
Dependent.
Thank you.
Dependent.
Yeah, weird. So when I ask for something that is the observed natural phenomena, the dependent variable that we're going to try to find the cause of, and then you just start talking about independent variables, to me that either means that you're slow or hard of hearing or just a D-bag, and there's no reason to talk to you. So when I ask you a direct question and then you don't answer it and you say, I like everybody here except for the guy that asked me direct questions, that tells me that you're just a D-bag. Or maybe the other things are true. Maybe you're hard of hearing. I'll do it one more time. Everybody else repeated it. We'll see if you answer. Or maybe you just don't want to engage because it's way too difficult for you to answer because it ruins your entire position. What is the dependent variable that we are observing in nature that we're going to find the cause of? Please. Yep, running away. Not going to talk, not going to answer.
You're just going to mute me. You're just going to mute me.
Well, no, I'm actually waiting for you to give me the dependent variable. I'm muting you because you won't actually discuss the thing that I want to discuss with you. You're not here on good faith. You're playing games, debate bro tactics, obfuscation. So I'll unmute you again. Dependent variable, please.
For the Michelson-Morley experiment?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're just going to be viewing the interference of light waves. That's going to be the dependent variable.
Dependent variable, the interference of light waves. What's a light wave?
Just like two beams of light interacting with each other.
Two beams of light interacting with each other? That's a light wave?
And then the independent variable is going to be the motion of the experiment itself.
Where was it observed, Chirac? Where was it observed?
The interference of light beams?
Yeah, where was it observed?
If you use your eyes currently right now, you might be able to observe it.
So what's the whole purpose of the test then?
Yeah, so the whole purpose of the test is to see whether or not the motion of light is following an absolute or inertial frame of reference. And it's clear that light moves at the same speed regardless of our inertial frame of reference.
Right, so you can't use it to detect if Earth is in motion. Great.
No, oh my God, bro. What do you mean by motion?
Yeah, this means you can't use it to detect the motion of Earth.
What do you mean by motion? Do you just mean like if Earth is absolutely moving through space and time?
Are we really back to defining what motion is? I accept your definition from before. Now let's move on.
Isn't it weird how he said in the Michelson-Morley non-experiment, because the independent variable that he gave us, he says, oh, you're just seeing it right now. He's not being specific. So we skip past the part where he's going to be, specific about what the interference of light he's talking about is. Is he talking about interference patterns, probability distributions? Is that the wave that you're talking about? Intersection of light beams? What the hell does that mean? And also, when you said
every
the
time he wants to
motion
bring up something to support his argument, he ends up blowing his own shit out of the water. Like, what the fuck?
Right, because he's talking about the motion of light, but apparently there is no universal motion or, absolute motion. So what motion was Michelson-Morley looking for if there's no absolute motion?
This factors into his whole fucked up reference frames thing, trying to make the globe Earth unfalsifiable. I mean, it's like, good job. If you're gonna say that like all frames of reference are relative and you can't really detect the motion of Earth using light, I don't know what argument you have for the globe. Just saying.
He also suggested that
sound like a flat earther now.
Yeah, he's trying to sound like he was trying to say that we can't tell whether or not the ground under the car is moving or the car is moving.
Yeah.
Yes, there's no way in hell to tell if the globe itself is moving, is there?
You're going to have to identify something within your experiment to be absolute. Otherwise, you don't have no frame of reference.
Yeah, it'll be the interference of the two beams of light.
Because light the only thing that has absolute motion?
Maybe if I explain
is
like
light
the
only thing that has absolute motion? Is light the only thing that has absolute motion?
Well, light doesn't have an inertial frame of reference.
So it has absolute motion? So there is such thing as absolute motion?
No. So
no, I guess you just contradicted yourself again.
Light itself is like yeah. So like light itself doesn't.
There are no absolute reference frames except for the light one.
No, the speed of light is constant. That doesn't mean its motion is absolute.
Oh, it's its own reference frame. It's absolute. It's a constant. Yeah.
Well, it can have does it have a speed of zero?
Yeah.
Can it have a speed of zero?
Can light have a speed of zero?
Yeah.
Like in a medium, sure.
That's what you. Let's say you can stop light in a medium. Okay, that's cool, right? But if it's not in if it's just traveling through a vacuum, right? Can its speed be considered zero because you can consider that everything around the beam of light is in motion, not the beam of light itself, right? Because it's relative, right?
I see what you did there.
Because it doesn't have an inertial frame. What would be its inertial frame?
Space-time.
Well, yeah, that's literally just the problem. Like light just doesn't have an inertial frame. So like when we say that motion is based on your inertial frame of reference, it's not that light is like the absolute or whatever. We just measure it to not have an inertial frame of reference. Like the claim is just that there's no absolute motion. So when we say when someone says the Earth is moving, you can mean one of two things. It's absolutely moving, or it's moving relative to someone's perspective.
Still
motion is just
while
an
the Earth
artifact
moves?
of reference.
or the Earth remains still while the light moves. I don't know. You're confusing me, bro.
Well, no, because it's back to the whole car and like road moving thing. Is that to the car's perspective, the car is moving. The Earth, it's driving forward to the Earth's
bro.
perspective.
No, it's not. No, it's not. The car doesn't have perspective. Look. When you get cars are built so that when you put your foot and you turn the engine on and put your foot on the accelerator, the wheels start turning and it causes motion of the vehicle. It doesn't cause the ground to start moving underneath the wheels to spin the wheels like some sort of fucking giant treadmill, bro. That's not how engines and accelerators work. Okay.
Yeah. If you have the perspective of that, like the Earth is
no,
like
it's not about perspective. It's about what is. What is. So, do they build cars to make the ground move underneath the wheels, or do they make the car so that the wheels go in motion across the ground?
That's right, T-Dub. I think it's important at this point in the conversation to bring up the difference between kinematic and dynamic frames of reference and models. So when you're stuck in this la-la land of kinematic reference frames and describing motion without actual forces and work and energy, then you're just describing reference frames, and it's all subjective. Of course, it's going to remain in that realm. But what T-Dub is describing is that in the real world, through actual force dynamics, you can diagram like the transfer of heat throughout the system of a car. And you know that the car's wheels are not imparting enough torque to twist the entire globe Earth underneath it. Right? So you can actually measure and diagram out the transfer of energy.
Well,
but
no,
guess what? You can't do that when it comes to kinematic models because there isn't any dynamic force with kinematics. You also don't have any dynamic force with the globe. Like nobody can actually measure the torque of a spinning globe.
Yeah, well, Yoder, I think you're confused. I'm not saying that the car moves the Earth underneath it. No, the Earth would just be moving underneath the car. It's the same with the treadmill. Like your feet don't move the treadmill. The treadmill creates its own like spinning.
Yeah, in reality, but using kinematics, you can
push yourself forward to keep pace, right?
Right.
So like that's what I mean.
Using kinematics, you can describe any reference frame that is internal or external to this, and it doesn't tell you whether or not there are actual forces that are.
No, yeah, it won't be helpful to like some sort of engineering problem because it's a physics question. We're talking about whether or not like we have absolute motions. Like when someone says that Earth is or is not in motion, well, that's just dependent on what you mean by motion. If they mean by like it's absolutely moving in a direction and all observers can agree upon that, that's just not going to be the case.
Right. So the eternal question is the Earth in motion? Is the Earth itself the thing that's actually moving? Is it even a thing that can move? Is it an object that can even be embedded in a space?
Yeah, that's what I touched on. That's what I touched on as well. Is that if like you just define like Earth to be everything, right? Like there's no.
He just told us that the entire phenomena is based on the subjectivity of the observer. He says people can't agree on it. So this is about agreement.
Yeah, I literally said this at the very start. That it's literally. Just
so this is just about whether or not people agree. Oh, fuck that! What actually is
reference?
Man, yeah, 4 out of 5
I said that in my original
definition.
I said it's based on a reference point.
Oh, so it's not subjectivity; it's a reference point.
Yeah, it's based on reference, like the reference of observers.
So
there's no arbitrary. So if we're saying that like the sky or whatever, there's nothing like past the sky. The Earth is everything, right? Like that's what I said before. Like if we're just gonna make Earth the universe, right? There won't be like to say that there's like a non-Earth reference point equivalent to saying that there's a non-universal reference point or whatever, right? So like under that, like it would make sense, but like internally in the system, you would still have inertial frames of reference.
Dude, even
I don't know if you're really clear on what frames of reference even are.
Yeah, they're just reference points to different perspectives. Like if we have a guy in a car making measurements versus a guy not in a car making measurements, and the car's driving somewhere. Like those are just going to be.
What do you mean by not in a car? What do you mean by not in a car?
Like he's not in a car.
Yeah, so don't tell me what the fuck it's not. Tell me what it is. One guy's in a car. The other guy is where?
So like one guy's in a car driving, and the other guy's just like standing on the sidewalk, and they're going to make measurements.
Standing on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
So one of them is in an inertial reference frame. No, actually, they're both in the same reference frame because they're both on the Earth, right?
Well, no, one's on the Earth driving, and the other one's just on the Earth standing. They have different.
Yeah, they're both on the Earth.
Earth is the inertial frame of reference.
No.
Yeah, you can set the Earth as an inertial frame. You know how to set a reference frame at all? You just pick something, and that becomes your point of origin for a new coordinate system. So reference frames are arbitrary, just like points of origin are arbitrary, just like coordinate reference systems are arbitrary.
They're going to the moon, trying to prove me wrong that Earth is not round.
Is not round.
So you can set anything as the inertial frame, even something that's an acceleration. You can set that as the inertial frame, because now you're going to baseline all motion.
Actually, no. When it comes to acceleration,
you're going to normalize all motion to the thing in acceleration to call it the inertial frame.
No, so you're right when it comes to all reference frames except for acceleration.
I know I'm right.
No, the reason it doesn't hold true for acceleration is that all reference frames will agree that you're accelerating.
Reference frames agree?
That's debatable, right?
Wait. The disagreement. The disagreement
that's not even
on the
accepted
acceleration
within relativity itself, you know.
Wait, so the disagreement between the inertial reference frames when you're speeding up, right? Let's just say you're going faster and faster and faster. The disagreement between inertial reference frames will be how fast you're increasing, right? Not that you're not increasing. So if I'm driving, the thought experiment for it is simple. Like, say I'm driving in a car going 20 miles per hour. There's a guy that's next to me going 10 miles per hour, and there's a guy going 30. Let's say I start accelerating towards 60 kilometers per hour. To both observers, I am accelerating. To the guy that's going 30 kilometers per hour, I will be accelerating relative to him less quickly than the guy that's going 10 miles per hour because his speed is less from his inertial reference frame. So to say that in acceleration,
why can't you treat Earth as inertial?
Well, you can. The guy's standing still. He's in an inertial reference frame that's Earth.
Right,
the guy
a few minutes
driving
ago
is
you said
the
you can't.
reference frame of Earth plus the guy driving. It's like the same thing I said about like the.
He didn't hear you, Yoder, because he likes talking through you. That's twice he's done it now.
A few minutes ago, when I said let's treat Earth as the inertial frame, you said no. You said no a couple times. You can't do that.
Well, no, you're saying that the Earth is the inertial reference frame for both. I said that the guy in the car will have the inertial reference frame of a guy driving on Earth.
You can treat the thing that is accelerating as having the inertial frame. Did you know that?
No, you can't. Oh my God. So speed and acceleration are not the same thing.
Yes, you can. I can say that I'm going to take this ball and I'm going to throw it up into the sky. Okay. Now I'm going to set the accelerating ball as the inertial reference frame. And now off of the ball, I can actually calculate the trajectory and velocities of dust particles and hair flying off the ball.
I just explained why accelerating frames will be
I'm
agreed upon by all frames of reference. I'm explaining to you
how you can take an accelerating object and give it the inertial frame of reference.
Yeah, so Yoder, when an object is accelerating...
I don't think you ever took a high school physics class.
No frame of reference will disagree that it's accelerating. They just disagree on how fast it's accelerating.
But we're not discussing its speed and how fast it's going.
So
you want to add... Hey, Durac, don't sidestep.
You're wrong, but it's irrelevant.
So when you said that like we have an object that's accelerating, if you meant to say an object that's like that has a speed in a direction, right? That can be an inertial reference frame. So when you say why can't the Earth be the reference frame to the guy standing and the guy in the car, is well the guy standing, let's just say that standing frame is Earth's frame, right? Because he's not really moving relative to the Earth, but the guy in the car is. So to say that his inertial reference frame is also the same reference frame as Earth is to say that the guy standing and the guy driving in a car have the same motion. That's what your claim would entail. And I don't think you believe that. So I don't know why you would say that. Because everyone
why would they have the same motion?
The guy driving and the guy in the car do not have the same
motion of zero? Yeah, they have the same motion of zero, right? Relative to each other if they're standing still, relative to the Earth. If it's still
relative to each other,
they
don't. If I'm driving 20 kilometers per hour and I fly past someone that's standing still, I will have relative motion to that guy standing still.
Yeah, of course. Of course. I was talking about two stationary observers. Like, I really fail to see where your point of disagreement is.
No, I think the misunderstanding comes from that, like what we call like Earth's frame of reference. Like if you guys are saying that, this is what I said before. If Earth's frame of reference is like any perceivable frame of reference that one could have has to be on Earth, right? then I can kind of understand where you guys are coming from, because you're saying that like it would be like me saying like, oh, what if we just have like a non-universal frame of reference? Like that just kind of doesn't make sense.
I could
like,
set.
You know what I mean? Like, how can I say that we have a frame of reference that doesn't exist? You know,
frame of reference. Right.
So
I could be in an airplane, and I could consider my airplane now an inertial frame of reference.
Yeah, compared to like I guess the Earth's frame of reference, and then unless you think that like the atmosphere like doesn't count as like not Earth or whatever. But like I mean that's just like splitting hairs. The point being is that to say that the Earth is in motion is purely dependent on how you observe it. Because motion is just going to be the artifact of your perspective.
Right. Well, how do you observe Earth in motion?
Well, from a non-Earth perspective, and if you consider flying to be a non-Earth perspective, then yeah.
God, bro. There's apparent motion. There's apparent motion and there's actual motion.
So why doesn't the bulltard rotate underneath us when we're flying then? Get in a hot air balloon, kid.
So like the motion is just going to be like described about your frame of reference.
There is no motion.
There is no absolute motion? Yeah, there's no absolute motion.
I didn't put the word absolute in there. You're doing it again. We're not going to go back around this. We've already discussed this at the start. Is your memory that short?
Yeah, so I mean...
Listen, let's break it down for you. You're trying to prove that the Earth is either spinning or not spinning. How are you going to do that while standing upon it?
What do you mean spinning or not spinning?
Are you really that mentally disabled that you don't know what I'm talking about?
I think Bros missed the entire point. It's okay.
No, don't sidestep.
Okay, again. I'll engage. I'll buy it. So when I say when I ask, is it spinning or not spinning? What does that mean? Like relative to?
Yeah. How are you going to prove this while standing upon the thing that is allegedly spinning?
Yeah. So I said the way that we were going to prove that is seeing if whether or not like light moves absolutely.
You need something to be actually happening, bro.
Yeah. So
actually, have a way to prove it.
The interference of light beams would be the way to prove it. Because if our claim is that if you just keep adding on like speed to like a train and then
I'm not adding anything.
The laser beam is going to have.
I'm not adding anything. That's another straw man. Thank you.
I'm talking about
I can prove the Earth.
Shut up, Matthew. Yeah. Matthew, please. You can prove it's spinning. It's better than the debate, bro.
Let me explain.
Matthew.
So, have you ever been on a cruise before?
No, I haven't actually. I've been told to go. It should be fun.
People feel after they get off like a boat, they feel like different, like they're still moving. Well, essentially, this is because your brain is accommodated to the natural spin of Earth, and that's why you don't feel that Earth is spinning. Is because it's constantly spinning, and you're acclimated to it since birth.
Then what can you use to detect it spinning at all? Anything?
I want to know what happens when we go to other
space
planets.
Right now, actually, believe it or not, they're going around
I want to
Earth.
know what happens when you go to other planets that are spinning twice as fast as the Earth, stumbling around and can acclimatise. What about when we go to the moon? That's not spinning in the same way as the Earth. Did we take time to acclimatise to the rotation of the moon? What bullshit are you making up?
That's really hard for me because I've never been to the moon.
Well, yeah,
I've
exactly.
Been on a cruise,
You're talking
I've
about
never been to the moon.
We're used to the spin of the Earth, so you've created a problem for yourself when exploring the universe. When we get to planets that spin faster than the Earth, we're going to be fucking sick.
Wait, isn't that why they're going around the Earth again to acclimate to space?
I don't know how long we've been placating this fucking bullshit, man. But are you lying to yourself or to us?
No. Okay, so did you see in chat? I posted a link to Twitter of the path of the spaceship.
No one cares.
Yeah, cool cartoon.
Well, it's from NASA. That's the U.S. government.
So you're happy to accept cartoons as proof?
Not my
That's how you know it's real.
It's just shit.
Okay, I'm just going to mute because I don't know what you want to hear.
It's true because I read the website address.
NASA's not the be-all and end-all of truth, my young friend. If you want to prove something, go and measure it. That's it. Come back with the data. If you've made a mistake, we'll point it out. If you get it right, hey, great for you. But don't just believe because some doorknob on bloody government website says so.
Hey guys, you know how I know Earth is a globe? I know Earth is a globe well because you can't actually tell if Earth is spinning because reference frames are arbitrary, and also you really can't measure absolute motion with light because light already travels within an absolute reference frame. So that's how I know that Earth is a globe, guys. There, I just summarized this entire conversation.
Thank you. Well, there goes redshift and blue shift, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
Are those things getting further away because they're moving further away, or because we are, or both?
No, the light is
know.
actually not changing speed. It's only the wave front. It's a change of the phase.
Oh yeah, that's right. Duh.
Yeah, that's how they tiptoe around this.
It's the frequency.
Yeah.
Wait, the frequency is the absolute. Everything else can vary, but that's got to stay the same the entire time, right?
Yeah, all the frequency gets squished and stretched, even though the whole thing is traveling at the same speed itself. It's one unit. That's what they say.
Hey Matthew, I love in your little video that you linked us there. One section of it, they zoom out away from the ship, and guess what? It disappears over the curve, doesn't it, mate? You can't see it at all. Think about it logically. If something is hidden behind a hill of water, you're not zooming in on it, are you? It's behind something. If you go and stand behind a car, I can't get my magic camera and zoom in and make you reappear above it.
In order to prove that all reference frames are relative, I'm going to bring up the one scientific test that shows that reference frames are not relative.
The thing which inspired Einstein to propose the general theory of general relativity, right?
Yeah.
Don't forget Lorenz, who started all this by saying that, well, it's the case that the item itself squished and time expanded so that it looks like it's not moving.
Right, into the thing getting squished. It doesn't see itself getting squished at all. None whatsoever. So the thing that is getting squished that you need to be able to measure getting squished can't actually measure it for itself if it's getting squished. And the thing that you're going to use to measure it getting squished could be squished. So you won't be able to actually measure if the thing's getting squished with the thing that might be getting squished too.
And for the record, the point of the Michelson-Morley non-experiment was to see if the Earth was indeed in motion. There was no dependent variable. My goodness.
Yeah, way to close that loop.
I don't like you. You ask hard questions. Actually, it's a wonder he didn't have a meltdown for you, Yoder. He didn't like me because I just wanted to get to the point. He didn't like Sazu because he asked horrible, hard questions. And when you were spitting facts, I thought he was going to have a meltdown.
I actually felt bad as I was spitting facts and hearing him start to melt down. I was like, man, maybe I should just stop talking.
Well, that's probably why he was talking through you, so he didn't have to listen. It's just his shut off mode. If I talk, I can't hear you.
That was just like 30 minutes of contradictions, man. I'm like, holy crap, the cog disk is so bad.
Yeah, he had his set script, and you guys broke it.
He went out of his way to tell us that that there are things with absolute frames of reference. It's like, okay. No, but the thing that I'm talking about that has an absolute reference frame is proof that there is no absolute reference frame.
I like the part where...
Oh shit! Oh pickle! I talked myself into a corner again. Oh fiddlesticks!
I like the part where Tita was like, "So can the light itself have its own frame of reference, and it look like everything around it's not moving?" Or, and then later contradicted himself by saying, "No, wheels weren't made so that the car could move across the earth. It's the other way around."
Or they don't like to bring up their own NASA rocket launches. But hey, yeah, you think when Artemis 2 lifted off, started going into space, that it was actually the Earth shrinking and getting further distant beneath Artemis? And what happens if you have two rockets that launch at the same time on either side of the globe? Does the globe shrink between the two rockets? And are people really going to say that, oh, you really can't tell the difference between whether or not the globe is shrinking between two rockets, or two rockets are actually taking off from the globe on opposite sides? Like, the whole thing turns into this devolved, just nonsensical discussion. It's a waste of time, can get frustrating. It was almost a case of just let them talk long enough and they'll contradict themselves. I think, honestly, that's a great, call it a tactic. I'll call it a freaking tactic. That's a great tactic for especially newcomers into the circle. You're still learning, you're still getting good at this. Well, a great tactic is to just let your debate partner, the Glober, talk. Let him make all the claims in the world, because he's going to end up contradicting himself, and then you'll be there waiting. You don't have to be a physicist or a chemist or a mathematician or anything like that. You don't need multiple college degrees or even one. You just need to be a good listener. Yep, I mean, how that conversation kind of went was, well, the Earth is flat and stationary. It doesn't move. Like, you can't tell it's moving. And then the guy's like, well, you wouldn't be able to tell if it's moving anyway, because all motion is relative. If you're in a train and the train doesn't feel like it's moving and you look outside, you might think the world is moving and the train's stationary, right? Then you're like, okay, great. Well, then how would you detect if Earth is a globe that's moving? Well, so that's the thing. You can look at the stars moving. Wait a second. I just talked myself into a corner again.
And that's how you trigger their cognition, and then you just have to kind of sit back and let them word salad their way through it into contradiction land. It's funny. That's what happened here.
Yeah, because okay, how about lasers? Lasers absolutely prove that there's a, well, oh, holy shit, there's an absolute frame of reference, isn't there? Speed of light. Fuck. Well, you can totally use lasers to detect Earth's motion. Oh wait, fuck, shit. No, you can't do that either. Well, fuck.
I actually think you're giving him more credit than he deserves. I think that was like a perfect textbook example of Dunning-Kruger. And I mean, he already admitted an hour ago that there's no evidence that the Earth is in motion. Like, he agreed with all the quotes I showed him, and then he started talking about, you have to walk while you bounce a ball, and something about the speed of photons. So it was just debate bro tactics. But, they have their script, and if you can, I don't think there's a lot of thinking going on. I think it's just a lot of regurgitation. I didn't hear him listening to anything that was said.
Right. Well, because I really appreciated Yoda's, distinction between kinematic and dynamic, because that would have eventually led him to, I bet, like, this is my prediction, that if it had played out, we focused on that, he would have gone to, I'm a brain in the jar, because you can't know anything, right? Because like, look, you have to have something that's actually happening, right? Because you can't say, okay, it's all relative. Like, okay, your perception of things might be relative, right? Some things might appear to be doing something, but they're not actually, right? Are you going to say that, if you stood on the sun, right, now the Earth is in motion, but if you go back to Earth, now it's not actually in motion? It's now the sun that's actually the thing in motion. It just depends which one you stand on. That's generating the dynamics. I mean, come on, bro. What the heck are you talking about?
Right. Right. It's like in the real world, we have actual ways to determine whether or not an object is actually in motion or if it's pushing another object in motion, right? I mean, you just look at the way it was freaking built. But yeah.
It
Yeah,
was
reality
perfect that you
bites.
showed up, though, because I know, like, inertial frames of reference is like your jam. So when he started in, I was like, oh, Yoder's never in here, but I really hope he shows up, and it went just as expected.
Oh, it really is my jam. I don't know how it became my jam, but it is my jam, that's for sure. I kind of take delight in going onto the internet and looking at all of these depictions of globe-based Coriolis and how wrong they all are. I mean, not all of them, but the vast majority of images that people find as explainers, like the Google image search for the Coriolis effect, vast majority of them show and depict it wrong. They depict the Earth rotating in the wrong direction. Not even joking. Like, it's so bad. And I don't think our guest earlier really understood what a reference frame itself even was, or how to establish one. He started acting like it was some kind of intrinsic property to the thing itself, when that's not necessarily the case. Because you can assign anything as the inertial reference frame, even though it may not be inertial. And this would be for the sake of baselining any motions that you want to study relative to that. It's like, it's like, I don't care that I drop this marble and it's going bouncy, 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 and on the table. I just want to measure, actually, like, I just want to measure dust particles flying off of the marble. So I may not be interested in all the other motions. I'm going to baseline it, and I'm going to assign an inertial frame to everything else that's going on.
Right, like bouncing your ball inside a moving train, or throwing a paper airplane inside a moving train.
Yeah, I could come up with better examples. I think that's a good one. Yeah, a moving train, bouncing a ball in a moving train. I like that. We're gonna baseline the train's motion, all of it, whether it's going left or right around the tracks, or speeding up or slowing down, or not even accelerating at all. We're going to baseline that. We're going to call that the inertial frame, because we just want to study the bouncing basketball, right? It's like, yes, I know the train isn't an accelerative frame itself. That is to say, relative to the Earth, relative to the tracks, right? But I'm going to assign an inertial frame of reference to it for the sake of studying the bouncing ball. I think that was a great example teed up. So I want to study the Earth rotating underneath the airplane. So if I fly the airplane north, let's say I start at the equator, and I fly the airplane north, the Earth should be rotating west to east underneath my plane. And the further I fly north, the diminishing tangential velocity of the Earth underneath me, right? I want to be able to study that. Can't do it. And it doesn't help that all these depictions of Coriolis show that I'm moving with the globe to the right if I'm flying north, instead of the globe turning underneath me. Oh, it's insane. They always screw up Coriolis itself. Go ahead, Tito.
They're flying east or west at the equator. You have aircraft that's like, if it's flying, which way would it be flying? East, wouldn't it? No, flying west. It'd be flying forwards and backwards simultaneously, right?
Yeah, it's like I want to fly west until I'm not covering any more ground because I've lost momentum, I've bled off my speed, and I'm just flying against the Earth's rotation, man, as fast as I can go. Oh, did you see Morvis posted this? The Artemis 2 mission could still be all over tonight, despite historic blastoff. Oh, wouldn't that be sad? The first manned mission to the moon in 50 years could be called off today. Says further, the Artemis 2 mission successfully launched yesterday, with the spacecraft taking off into Florida sky and starting to orbit our planet. Over the next 10 days, the goal is for Artemis to head to the moon, though the crew won't be setting foot on Earth's only natural satellite. Already that's wrong with their own lore. Instead, they'll go around the moon, and the crew of 4 could experience the best view of the moon's dark side. Again, it's all these mistakes. No, the moon is not claimed to be Earth's only natural satellite. No, the moon actually does not have a dark side.
I was talking about this yesterday because I pulled up AI about it, Chat GPT, whatever, Google's AI mode, because it was trying to say that like they're going to have a clear, nice view of the far side, and going to be illuminated. And I went, whoa, hang on a sec, it's going to be still like just transitioning back from full moon. I mean, not much of that far is going to be illuminated. What are you talking about? And it tried telling me, oh no, it's all relative and blah. It sounded a bit like that, the glass guy, right? I'm like, no, just no. This is not observer. It's observer based as to how much of the illuminated part you'll see, but only a section at a time can be illuminated. That's it. If there's only 50% of a part of it that's illuminated, that's all you'll be able to see for any observer from any angle. Like no matter how much of that surface area you can see, you'll be limited to the part that is illuminated. And it was like, oh yeah, you're right. And because it tried telling me that 60 to 70% of the far side will be illuminated. I'm like, bro, what? How much of the surface will we see from Earth? And it said 88%. I said, okay, so there's 12% we can't see that they'll get to see, not 60 to 70%. And it's like, yeah, you're right, and it like started, started correcting itself, and so it's like it was trying to make out like they'd have this great illuminated view of the far side, and I'm like, nope, that's geometrically impossible, right? It's like, oh yeah, well, there's going to be some. They're focusing on the Terminator line, and there's going to be some twilight spreading, and
Dude, I'm going to laugh if they shit can the mission early. I mean, did you see that they already had problems with their onboard toilet?
I heard something about that. Yeah,
I was going to mention.
Yeah, the shitter broke.
They need to hit up the dude from The Big Bang Theory to fix their toilet.
Have they got lots of nappies on board?
Looks like the same shitter on the ISS. It's like a little can. Like, I don't know. Just no. And then on top of the lid, It actually said like the lid had a sticker on it, and the stick had a warning label that said max weight limit 200 pounds. Yeah, and this is supposed to be in 0G. Furthermore, it actually said something about like when this lid is closed, it's used for a mock-up. Something like that. It had the label mock-up. Like, why would your Artemis shitter, space shitter, be a mock-up, and why would it have a 200-pound weight limit? Like, I thought you were in weightlessness.